Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to another episode of IoT Tuesday with yours truly, Samuel Adrani. This has been a minute since we've been on air. A couple of, I think last week I did a test transmission. Was missing in action for, for a while. Had to hide a bit. But here we're back. We're back to, give you guys some IoT goodness as we do if it's your first time joining. I try to do this every Tuesday, just demystifying, hacking, breaking, tinkering, playing, you name it, anything about IoT. I try to do that on this show. So today's show is pretty much straightforward. We're coming back from hiding, so we'll be talking about today's show generally is Ask Me Anything. Bring your IoT questions, your IoT concerns, your just bring them. We'll try to answer them. It's also going to be an question and answer session, and then in between that, I'll be sharing some some new things, what I've been working on, or when I was in hiding, and also we just get to chit chat, right? So if this is the first time you're joining, just say hi. Let's know where you're joining from, and then we can say hi. But if you also don't know about this channel, do well to subscribe for us. It really goes a long way to help us, to grow the channel. As we do it. Let's go for the montage. When we come back, we're going to jump right into the action. Stick and stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Awesome. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. And this is yours truly, Samuel Adrani. If this is the first time you're joining, just feel free to, subscribe and share. As I mentioned earlier on today, we'll be talking about a lot of, today is Ask Me Anything, question and answers and a couple of things. But yeah, before we get into it, I have a couple of things I just want to get out of the way. You realize that today I'm wearing an ARM developer program. So that is because yours truly is the latest and the freshest, ARM ambassador in town. Yes, yes, yes. Deserves some confetti. Yes. So I'm recently, selected or awarded ARM ambassador for in the country. Thank you very much to Derek for that nomination. Really appreciate it. Just still doing stuff for the community. So yeah, so you'll be seeing me do a lot of ARM stuff as well. So. Thank you very much for that. That's the first thing out of the way. The second thing I want to talk about is so I finally got my fifth year ring for being a Microsoft MVP, specifically on the Microsoft IoT devices and edge and services category. So that is also worth celebrating. Yeah, so it's been 5 years into it. Just wanted to recap a few things that happened over the weekend. So over the weekend, myself, in partnership, I'll say the AfriLogic, and in partnership with the Rotary Club of Accra Speak Masters, and I think a wager, and we came together to take what we call tech on wheels. If you've been following me for a while, I have been talking about tech on wheels. Literally, what tech on wheels is taking technology or putting technology on wheels. It's like a mobile lab or mobile geeking, maker space. Let's put it that way. It's like a mobile maker space that we take to deprived communities or people, places where these kids or these people would, probably in a very long time in their life won't probably even have access to these things. And this weekend was awesome. Charles. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. So we went to Agona Abodom, which is in the central region. We had an experience with 100 children picked from different schools, the Roman, the Methodist, all the schools, 100 children. We brought them together and we gave them experiences in mixed reality. Most of them got to wear Oculus for the very first time. We created a virtual zoo in the HoloLens. So, they could see giraffes, they could see lions, they could see apes, they could see all that wearing the VR glasses and the AR glasses. They could see all these things and interact with it. We taught them fundamentals of programming using Scratch and Python. We taught them basics, 3D modeling and printing using Tinkercad. So, hey. Thank you. Nice. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're doing great. We also taught them, how to assemble their own robotic kit. So we have our own robotic arm kit and a rover kit, which we sent. So they participated in, assembling the robotics kit, and then on top of that, programming it with Scratch. And then we also give them the opportunity to fly drones. So they fly, we had the drone flying session where they flew some tele drones. So, hey, Eliklim, nice to join. Yeah, finally. And yeah, big thank you to Eliklim as well. So, just to and we took our Starlink in that remote place, and we were getting speeds of about 300 Mbps speed was what we're getting. So that was quite interesting. And I want to use the platform to say a big thank you to all the Rotary clubs and members that joined, Crosspeak Masters, Wager, and I believe Winneba. Thank you so much for the support. Big thank you to all the guys from AfriLogic Solutions and Logic Hub. The guys were not sleeping, putting together, the robotics kit, making sure it's compatible with Scratch and all that. Kudos to everyone who supported. A big thank you to Basofa Regenerative Foundation, Felixier. Thank you so much for the big sponsorship. You made it possible. Thank you to all those who supported in little ways and prayers, and all my friends and people who promised to support me. It's not over. There's a next one that is coming, so I want to see a lot of the support coming in. But yeah, thank you so much. Snapmaker, Arduino, HoloLens, Oculus, all those experiences are there. And so if you want for some reason to support us in the train, I won't say where the train is going next, but if you want to support or any ways you can, kindly please reach out to us. One of the things that we did was we actually had to rent laptops to be able to allow the kids to do that. So if you're out there and you have any connections or you have any association with companies that renew or recycle their laptops after 2 or 3 years, we would want to take them, and then use them for the project. So if you have any of these things, just reach out to us and share that with us. So a big thank you to all the team and everybody who made that possible. I'm sure you probably have seen my social media sharing all that. So a big thank you to that. So enough of the blabbing. Let's get into today's session. So I said today is Ask Me Anything. So feel free to drop your questions in chat. I will try as much as possible to answer them, and then whilst I'm talking through things. So let's get into the first thing. So a lot of the times people are asking me, okay, wait, should we do the the new kit unboxing and showing what is in there before we talk about all the stuff? Or I have some exciting news as well, but you know what? Okay, so let me share the information first. All right, let me share the information first, and then I can show you all the new kits. So the first piece of good news I want to share is actually coming from our friends from Seed Studio. So if you've been following my streams for some time now, right? Let's go to the bench. If you've been following my stream for some time now, you would remember that I made mention of the fact that a lot of people ask me, oh Sam, I don't have the hardware, like the boards you're using, I don't have them. How do I follow you when you're doing your IoT things and all that? This is one way that you can do that. All right, this is one way you can do it. So this site called Wokwi, I would say that as of now, it's one of the most used or most compact, and filled ESP, 32 simulators right now. So you can see from here that there is the conventional Arduino, there's the ESP32, there's the STM32, there's the Pico. They have integrations for Visual Studio Code. There's a Woku CI if you want to use that, and also how do you call it? And then also Rust and MicroPython, and there are some featured projects and stuff like that. But today it's not necessarily on the feature project. So this is a cool place if you want to do IoT, you want to get into IoT and you don't have maybe an Arduino or an ESP or anything, you can come here in the browser and do this. I'm not sure if they have an offline version. That would really be cool to see. If they have an offline version, then what you can do is that then you don't necessarily need to be on the internet. We need to look at that. So this is what I'm excited about. Our friends and people at Seed Studio, honorable mention, have now brought most of the Shayo kits, their Shayo microcontrollers, onto Woku. So if you've been following me, you know that I'm a crazy fan of Seed Studio. As you can see, I have some unopened things from Seed, which after this I would unbox, on the channel. Yeah, so they have added it. So if you go to ESP32 and you go down, you can see the starter template. Now look here. Look at this. So from here, so you can see they have the ESP32C3, the Shayo ESP32C6, the Shayo ESP32S3. So now C Studio has brought Shayo into this. So you can now, try, test out, do simulations in the Shayo. All right. So let's say if I want to try this, and you can see they have all the variants in there, but this today I'm talking more about the Seed one. So if I want to do the 32, the Shayo, let's say S3, so I can just open this up, and it's quite simple. So this is like a very basic Blink, and you see, is so intuitive, and very simple to use, right? So let's say this is a very simple test, and that's a good thing. It creates the sketch for you that you can easily copy and download, and it shows you all the libraries it's using. So if I go ahead, so this is a very simple, LED test with you have your resistors variant and the LEDs here, and then it's just a simple loop that red, green, and blue. So if you do this, if I run this, and that's, you can see my code is running. So this is a very simple platform for you to test out if you don't have the Shayo, right? For those that are shouting, what's the Shayo? Like I said, I have a few of them here. I have a few of the Shayos here that I can show you. So let's come here. Let me show you that. Where are my ESPs? Oh, these are sensors. Sorry. So there we go. So as you can see, this is a Shayo, right? So there's a Shayo. So you don't necessarily need to have this Shayo physically to be able to do. So this is the C3, and there you can see. So you don't need to have this to simulate it. Your internet is fast. Yeah, my internet is fast. I know, right? Yeah, we try. So that is one of the good news I want to share with you. So now you don't need to have how do I purchase one? Okay, so Charles, if you go to the Seed Studio website, right, I can show you this right now. If you go to Seed Studio, let's just go to Seed Studio, not Co-Create, but don't worry, I'll just take this out of here. So if you go to Seed Studio, all right, and you go to product, so it's actually the Shayo brand. So where is that microcontroller unit? Yeah, they've done some update to their website. The full kit. So Charles, when you say the full kit, can you elaborate on what you mean by the full kit for me? But yes, if you go to oh, Charles, do you mean my full kit? This kit? No, this kit is years of purchasing something things. No, but Charles, on the more serious note, if you want to purchase, so this is it. This is the Shayo variant, right? The good thing about the Shayo family, as you can see, you can run tiny ML on it. So lately, all this AI inference and stuff like that, edge impulse, you can train your models and run. It's very tiny, small form factor. It's small, as you can see from when the one I shared. It's quite small. So you can applications like wearables, applications like stuff like that. You can use Shayo for that. But like I said, right? So Charles, if you can clarify which kit you mean, because I'm trying to. So here, if you go to Shayo, you want to shop now, you can buy all the different variants of the Shayo. Depending on the type you want, so you can see these are the prices. If you want the ESP, if you want the C3, you are looking at $499. If you want the NRF 52840, you're looking at $15. So if you go to the C Studio website, like I said, I have a few of them here that are unboxed on today's show as well. So we can try to do that. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. That as of now, all right, if you don't have the hardware, right, and you're curious, you want to try the seed, the Shayo out, you can use this. All right, you can use this. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a lot of times I get questions about. What is the integration, or what's the line between IoT and AI? Yeah, I look interesting. Oh, I mean, okay, so let's see what I think Charles is saying something. So Charles says, okay, I mean the one you mentioned you were about to unbox. Oh, okay. So this one. Okay, so the one in the the one in the clear packages. Okay, so Charles, so this is my order, right? So just like I showed you from the Seed Studio website, right? So I went to Seed Studio and then I ordered a few of them. So when they were shipping it, they just put them. So actually, since we're on the topic of the kits, let's just open it. So as you can see, this is just the package. So I ordered a few of them, right? So this is this is a camera. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there you go. Today my bench camera is not working, so this is a camera module. So if you look at it, if you look at the inscription, you can see Seed Studio. This is the FPOV camera and camera cable for Raspberry Pi, right? 3 Plus and 4. So it was an order I did, and so this is not like, it's not like a kit that you go. If you want, Seed Studio has some kits, right? I think I have one I can show you. But this is, so here is a camera. There's nothing too fun about that. This one though, this here is the Seed Studio Vision AI model. So if you look at this, it's an AI vision module that allows you to do like AI inference and object detection, computer vision and stuff like that. So there's also like this is a module that I got separately, right? And then here, so this is the Shayo. So you can see here, I have another Shayo. I have a bunch of these Shayos because they're just so nice to have and they're easy to use. So this is another. I think this is an RF. This is another Shayo, right? So Charles, if you want it, this is this is the Sense. This is the So this one's actually so you can see this is another Shayo, which is the ESP32S. Let me see if I can get this focus for you. Yeah, so this is the ESP32C3, right? It's still Shayo. So I literally just went to the Seed side and then I purchased it separately. All right. So it's not as if I already have, and mostly, um, yeah, I wish my, so as you can see, I wish my bench cam was working. So I have a lot of C Studio stuff, sensors, shios, all that. So it's just over the period of time. So like I purchased them separately. So today we'll just be, showing you some of these things. All right. So Charles, I hope that answered your question. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. Great. So a lot of times I get the question, a lot of people ask me the question about the line or interface between IoT and artificial intelligence, right? I get that a lot. Now, I keep telling you that they marry because you can use them. So I want to share something with you, an interesting project. So, okay, welcome, Charles. So this project here, interestingly, is using a combination of IoT and AI, right, to determine leaky pipes. And somebody will ask, how is that even possible, right? Well, that is because they are leveraging a sensor, as you can see, is from Fido.tech. So what they're doing is they're leveraging a sensor, right, maybe in the sound spectrum, that is placed in those, so here as you can see, is attached to a pipe fitting in an inspection chamber. So it's over here. So this one here, this particular one here, right? So it's in that inspection chamber. And what's happening is that it has some audio capabilities. So what's going on is they've trained the model. So and obviously if you're being in a space where there's a leaky faucet or pipe, you hear the drop, doop, 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 and they've been able to train their model to determine that the more the drops obviously says that, the leakier the pipe, if that's even a word to use. So it's the same concept. So a combination of hardware and software, especially IoT and AI, it marries. Now, we'll not even go too much on that. For those that have also been following us, right, about Crafted Climate, where we actually building low-cost air quality sensors. If you didn't know that, yes. So my outfit and Logic Hub, we build low-cost air quality sensors. And actually, something I was also going to show to you guys is our new PCB board, which came in not too long ago, running ESP. So this is the brains behind our CrowdSense, stuff. So we're building, assembling this. Now, this also has AI on board, which means that when we are collecting the environmental data, we are running some inference on it and doing some predictions and all that on board. And again, it is the marriage between IoT and AI, right? So don't think that it's far-fetched to have IoT project that don't do AI, right? It's marries it, because now almost every device around you is some kind of an IoT device or some smart device or stuff like that, right? Yeah, and we have finally we have the prodigal son joining. Welcome. All right, so that whole scenario, okay, or that whole situation where you marry IoT and AI is very seamless. It's something that we need to look at. So this is a very interesting technology and stuff that they are working on. So don't think that is far-fetched. It's very close. All right. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is something called Meshtastic, right? Now, what is Meshtastic? Meshtastic works within the LoRa spectrum, okay? So if you've been following for some time now, we've been doing a lot of LoRa stuff. Now, what this like technology allows you to do is literally it allows you to communicate over long distances without internet or cell network. Are you with me? So this allows you to communicate, especially send messages or data over long distances in kilometers, right? Without a network or internet or cellular network or internet. And this is interesting. We've been trying it. I briefly mentioned it some time back on the different variants to now. This operates within it uses some LoRa, still uses the LoRa protocol, but tweak for that. There is a whole community of Meshtastic users across, especially in the North America, I think in Europe. Now, most of the devices are ESP based or different, controller based. I have with me a few ones that I want to share. So these are like very common ones. This is how it looks like. So basically, if we were, let's say, in a protest, in a conference, in a workshop, well, we would each need to have one of these. How it works is that it creates a LoRa mesh network. Okay. So if I have one of these and you have one of these, all we need to do is connect to your phone to it via Bluetooth, or it could be a tablet. It could be. I mean, nothing smart. You just need to connect. They have a companion app, but you can actually build your own app on top of it. So get the Meshtastic app, have this connect to your phone via Bluetooth. That's it. There's no internet. There's no network, and that is it. These two people can send messages across. I'll be sharing the videos of a test I did with my engineers where we all across the street, right? And we're able to send messages, in kilometers. So, and we're able to send messages without internet and without the network. Now, this is one variant. So, this is one variant you can use one variety of it. Now, there is another variety. So this is another variety of it, which is using the wireless stick, but it's still from Heltec. It's also Meshtastic, so it's, let me open it. We've only set up that one. So if you look closely as well, this is how it also looks like. You can have a good enclosure too. You can see that this is running on also the ESP32S3. So it's the same thing. If you set this up, two people, you can communicate over kilometers without internet and, or network. Interesting enough, as you know, I'm a sucker for Seed Studio. So immediately they started going to that space and said, hey, we also have trackers and we want to make it easy for, you to use and carry. Seed Studio also launched their Meshtastic variant. Let's go to so this is, if you can go to meshtastic.org, you can read a lot about them. So getting started, you can go to the hardware, devices. Oh, I see they've done some update to the website. So they have the LoRa version, the TDEC, the Heltec versions. So that's what we have. But overview, basically, right? So this is how the concept of Meshtastic, but like I said, so you connect your device via Bluetooth to the Meshtastic receiver, and then it just creates the mesh network. So not only phones, you can even use it for your laptop to receive data, to send data. And the good thing is that it creates a mesh network. So the more, the more nodes you have, the stronger the network, and you know how mesh network works. It just bounces off data. So this is LoRa based, right? Very effective. Now, the military uses, hey, Dave. Hey, hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Today we're doing, Ask Me Anything. Just talking about IoT, some cool stuff and what I have been up to. So, I mean, hey, if you have any questions, just drop them. We'll try to answer them. So this is how it works, right? So just like I showed you, I've shown you two variants, which is this one, the Heltec one. There's a Heltec one here, this two variant. And then also, this is also from Heltec. But now, some of it has wireless and GPS, right? The GPS one adds that level of now, I can actually set up you can actually pinpoint where the person is and where the message is coming from. And all these things run on LiPo, so you can recharge them. People have actually set up Meshtastic, how do you call it? Gateways and access points, right? Yeah, doing fine. Great you're talking about Meshtastic. Great for Italy. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's good to know that, all the way from all the way from Italy. And yes, Dave, thank you so much. It's something I've been testing it in the background for some time now, and I feel that it's good to talk about it, because in the era where you can't solely rely on regular communications networks, right? These are some of the options. It's like if you've heard about ham operators, where in the case of emergencies and disaster, ham operators are used to send messages and data, right? It's the same thing here with Meshtastic. The good thing is that the messages or communications within the Meshtastic devices are encrypted, end-to-end encryption. Now, you can also create private channels, you can create public channels, so that people on the Meshtastic can either communicate, in an open group or in a private group. So that is how interesting it is. So this is it, and there are different scenarios and there are different use cases. However, my friends, my friends from Seed Studio, right? So they launched, they had their whole, a whole Meshtastic. They also said, hey, we already have our trackers, right? And because we have trackers, we also want to get into the Meshtastic thing. Let me see if I can find this on their site. There you go. So they have the SenseCap LoRa trackers, right? Which is this particular one. Also, and if you're noticing, LoRa is becoming very, very dominant in a lot of applications and use cases. So I have one of these as well. So this is LoRa, has GPS positioning, and it's rechargeable, right? And it sends your location and has a panic button which you can program to do different things on it. So C Studio came up with this particular one. And then they were like, well, since Meshtastic and this open communication protocol is becoming very useful, why not also do a similar form factor for Meshtastic? And they came up with the SenseCap tracker, right? And this is their Meshtastic option. And there you go. So this is it. This is C Studio's. So you can see it. So this is how it looks like, connected to your phone. So two phones, and you can send messages, right? You can simply send messages across without internet, without a network, and that's it. You can easily do that. Now, it has a GPS, it has, some other sensors if you want to, and that's it. So, as you know, trying to be the early adopter as I am, obviously I needed to make sure that I test it out. So part of the things that I'll be busying myself with is I have two of them that myself and the team will be testing. I can actually go ahead and open this up and let's see how they look like, because obviously that's why this channel is here, right? To give you guys a close look at some of this thing. So in the package, sorry, my bench camera is not working, so forgive me. So pretty much out of the box, this is all you have. It's as simple as this is it. So you have this, the charging cable and the device itself. So and the cool thing is it's transparent. So you can see the components. So I see the button here as well. That is the battery. There's some buzzer in there. And then if you look closely here, this is the charging. This side is a charging thing. So if I should just move, let me open this. Yeah, I'm going to have fun with it. So it's magnetic. So it's one of those magnetic. Yeah, interesting stuff, Charles. Yeah. So check this out. So if it will only fit in one direction. There you go. So that's it. So that's how you charge it. So and this is on Meshtastic. So which means, and I mean kilometers. So imagine if your whole team, you're going for a concert and you can't, this whole thing of where is this person, or there is some disaster or some protest or something, you want to be able to still communicate if they even try to jam the network and so on, because it's working a different frequency. You can just, if you have this in your pocket or hanged anyhow you want it, connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, download the Meshtastic app, and you are gone. I think I have, let me quickly show you how the Meshtastic app looks like. How are we doing on time? I think we're doing good on time today. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can show you guys. So let me use reflector. Yeah, so I'm trying to get, yes. Interesting stuff. Yes, true. Charles, interesting stuff. Where is the bus? Good question. Where is the bus driver? So I'm going to try to connect. So I'm going to try to connect to my phone, and then I can show you this. So let me open my so Volta. There we go. So I'm trying to connect my phone to it so that we can see 0033. So because I have one of these two set up here, it should pick it. So now if you go to, you should see my phone. Let's go down here. Actually, let me reduce this. So if where's that? Let's go for my, there you go. So that's the Meshtastic app. So because I have one of the devices here, right? Yes. So you see that it's automatically connected to the device it has, right? So if you look at up here, so I've connected to the device, right? So I've subscribed to this device, and that's it. So look here, if you can look at notes, and it's seeing 2 notes because I have, these are the 2 notes I have here. I have 2 notes here. Oh, okay, yeah. So okay, that's interesting. And you can see and trust me, this is able to go into sleep mode. So what happens is that I can charge it and use it for like days, especially if I'm not draining it. So I think Dave has something to share. So Dave, you're saying that I have extensive taste in big festival scenario this summer, but I can only imagine how useful it is in catastrophic scenario. So that's the good thing, because you are dealing, because it's in a mesh environment, right? The more people that have it, it builds up a mesh. Now, a lot of people don't realize, have you guys noticed that if you go for big events, huge events, right? Because there's a concentration of a lot of people, even network connectivity or drops. So here in Ghana, you see MTN bring like a mobile mast just to augment the connection from that that particular mast in the area. So yeah, so Dave, yeah, true. It's a good scenario in it. But the thing is, you can actually build on it. The app is kind of different from Android or iPhone. It took me some time to use the workshop. Dave, I know, right? It also took us some time to, really get into this. But on a serious note, it's really a cool one. So if you come here, if you look at the app, so I see the 2 devices. I'm sure if I should power on, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, right? I'm going to go ahead and power on one of this. Hopefully there is some juice in it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean I could still just put it on charge and wait for it to load. So start. So it's not a big. So I'm going to charge this whilst I quickly talk about the interface. So it's just a simple snap. I have the power thing going for me here, so I'll just connect it to one of my my power things here, just to get some power going in there for it. All right, yeah, so it should be, so I'm just charging it. Okay, yeah, so you just heard that, right? So it just came up. So I think, yeah, it's charging. I can see some small lights, blinking in there. So if it pops up, we'll see it here. Let's just allow it to charge up a bit. But yeah, so from the UI, if I let's say connect to this one, as you can see, it's a Heltec V3. That's the voltage. So that it has all this information. This is the map and all that. But if you go to messages, right, I can create channels. So this is a primary channel. If I have a primary channel and it's not, Ayenu is in the house, I see you. So if I all my other team members can connect to this channel, or I can say, hey, direct messages and where. So this will be a one-on-one message with any other. So in this case, as you can see, there are two of them, right? So you can communicate between the two. So use cases for this, like I said, in big event places, you can leverage this, even for let's say, as a means of tracking, right? You are in a camp or in a setting and want to make sure you want to find or know where people are, at every point in time. That is also like a good one that you can use, right? So that is Meshtastic for you. So I've got myself the SenseCap trackers, which we'll be talking about. Yeah, so that is the other thing I'd wanted to talk about. Like I said, remember today is Ask Me Anything, right? Today is Ask Me Anything. So if you have any questions about IoT, your questions, concerns, challenges, experiences, you can share them. I'm only doing it and interspersing it between, talking about what I'm doing and stuff like that. So if this is the first time you've joined us, please, like, subscribe to the channel, share. Hey, Jonathan, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining. So like I said, it was the first time, subscribe, like, share, and let's learn and do a lot of these things together. So the other thing I want to talk about, still on emerging technologies, we talked about LoRa. I want to learn more about these. We still have some questions, which is what we're doing. So Charles says, I want to learn more about this. Sure, definitely. Keep a lookout for the channel when we go live every Tuesday. We'll share a lot of this content and use cases on that. Dave, how is agri-tech development in Ghana right now, in your opinion? So I think a lot is happening in that space, if you ask me truly. There is now the adoption of technology a lot more than before, but I still feel that there's a lot more work that has to be done. One of the experiences I've had is in terms of access to some of these technologies that, are used in the space of like agri-tech or agri-tech, as people would call it. Sometimes, like in our case, is accessibility to some of these technologies. So most times it's hard to get access to it, so it's not mostly applicable. You only find a few places, I think Farm for Me or some other people, Grow for Me or something, that are even building greenhouses that are leveraging technology, climate control, and all that. But it's a green field. It's a place that there's a lot more adoption. I have seen a lot of innovation challenges and incubators and acceleration programs that are actually focusing on agri-tech and how to use that. So it's a growing space. There's a lot of opportunities in that space for us, especially since I was talking about combining and leveraging AI and IoT. Like, how do we combine climate data, to determining if the soil contains enough nutrient even for that farming season? Are they getting access to services that allow them to probe to know if there's enough nutrients in it? Do I need to fertilize it? Do I even need to add more water? Right? What's the quantity of water that has to be used? So it's an open field. In my opinion, there's a lot we can do in that space. So hey, if you're thinking of some possibilities, surely you need you can look into that. So Charles says, I self-learn at home, but I want to take it more serious. That is all most of us started. Okay, a lot of us, that's how we started. Like, I'm not an electrical engineer, right? Computer science, got tired of just primarily just building software. I just needed more. I chanced on an Arduino so many years ago, and that's it. And I just got hooked. And all those things there are either sensors or some actuators or some boards or, things there that, you can. So yeah, it's good to keep abreast, and that's why like channels like mine, there are other IoT channels, there are other channels that you can leverage, right, to get better, better at it. Um, are the program intensive volunteer work for some of these I can learn more from. So we did an IoT certification program, I think last quarter, right? So for those who don't know, Logic Hub was part of the Ubiquitous Catalyst program where we were selected to represent Ghana, and we did a IoT training certification training program. We are going to do that again, so just keep following me. Just watch out for the date. The challenge was we had a lot of people in other parts of the country who wanted to do the certification program, but unfortunately, we couldn't meet them, as in like take it to them. They had to come to Accra. So that's why like we're trying to see how we can diversify. But keep following me, and when the next cohort for the next training is set up, you will get to know. Yeah, hard to get hardware, that's true. Oh, welcome Dave. Welcome. So question is, do you use Node-RED? Yes, I use Node-RED. Yeah, so yeah, Dave, I use Node-RED. It is also so for those who don't know, I think, have I done anything on Node-RED? No. So producer, we need to talk about Node-RED. So Node-RED is like a low code, pro code, drag and drop, simple way to interface with a lot of systems. It is not just for IoT stuff. You can use it for automations. So one of the common things. So recently, my team was trying to build a robotic arm that is controlled in Unity, and they were like, "How do we do that? We have the step 7." And I was like, "Guys, you can actually set up WebSockets from Node-RED that takes all the coordinates from your physical accelerometers and actuators and pipe them into Unity using Node-RED." I was like, "How can you do that?" Yes, you can do that. So yes. So Dave, I use Node-RED. It's an interesting platform. I even think. Hold on. Let's see. I have it on my machine. I just need to activate it and run that. Yes, I think I'll do a session on that one of these episodes. My prodigal son is a certification free. Yes, the IoT certification program we run under the auspices of the Ubiquitous Catalyst Acceleration Program was a European Union funded program. So we did the training free. So we're planning that as many as we can do, we'll do as many of those, for free. And then, we can boost and bring up, that excitement and people to want to learn a lot more of it. Learn Node-RED and yeah, that's true. Yeah. So thank you, Dave, for that. So Charles, yeah, if you want to look at it, Node-RED is there for you. Obviously, like I said, I started with Wokwi. If the challenge is hardware, right? I believe that we talked about Wokwi. So let me go back, and maybe you're just joining. So Charles, we talked about Wokwi, which is a good place to also start if you don't have the hardware. So you can use that. So come here. There's Arduino. There's ST Pico. You can pick any of them, learn through it. There's a code base for it, and hey, just play around with it if you don't have the hardware. Because in this side of our world, the hardware is one of the biggest. Is one of the biggest things. So you can leverage on that, right? So have you ever used ChefStack? Yes. Yes, I have. We actually have a LoRa gateway that we are setting that up for it to use ChefStack. So yes, we're quite conversant. I'm quite conversant with ChefStack as well. Setting up. So we have we have actually 3 LoRa gateways. We have one from MileSite. The other one is from obviously Seed Studio, and the other one is from. It used to be a company that was purchased or acquired by MileSite, and for most of these things, we set up ChefStack, or you can do the Things network on it. So yeah, we have that on it. Yeah. Okay. So okay, Charles, you have that. You have that. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so yeah, Arnold in chat, yes, he's our lead firmware, yes. So Chef Stack, TT and Helium, yes, we have all that. We've worked with all that. Yeah. It's a brave. So for those who follow me, there's one thing you probably get to know about me is that I like to test the technologies, see how it's going to be applicable to, project and solutions I'm working on, right? So we keep testing new things, we keep checking out for new stuff, and that's how it's brought us. Not to segue away, but still talking about new technologies and stuff like that. I made mention not too long ago about Mata, which is more or less like a unifying technology for a lot of the our smart home and smart technologies. So whether it is Apple Home, it is Alexa, it is Google Home, or whatever that is, Mata is going to unify that, and the protocols are going to. Now the good thing is that some of these Shio the Shio modules are Mata compliant. Actually, that was one of the reasons why I got this set. So these little things are Mata compliant, and which means that now you can build your own custom bridges that allow you to communicate. So you can have a home automation, or you can have a smart system that speaks Zigbee to communicate and send command to something that speaks Z-Wave, or that speaks Wi-Fi, or that speaks LoRa or some other protocol, right? So that's interesting. Yes, Dave, I've used the WLED before. It's an interesting library that allows you to I want to call it override using LED libraries. So you can pretty much create some interesting things. You can reprogram, change. So if you have an LED strip that has got some of these pre-programmed things in it, or what you need, you can just use WLED, WLED, and then reprogram it and choose your own patterns, colors, and all that. So yeah, so yes, I've used that. Yeah, so this is the project. Let me share the project for you guys. So this is the WLED project, which is allows you to use ESP and all that to as a website control LED. So quite an interesting project. Yes, I've played around with this a few times. Yeah. So interesting times. What haven't I shown? How we do on time? Yeah, so 5 more minutes to the top of the hour for us to go. What resources do you use to learn? YouTube documentation, etc. Yes. So my style of learning includes I'm a visual and a hands-on learner. That's me. So what I do is that first of all, if there are simulators, fair enough. But if there aren't, I try to get hands-on and learn with it. So I'm a practical learner. I will use YouTube videos. I'll look at what other people have done. I'll look at the documentation. By the end of the day, I like to grab. That's why I'm saying that if you look behind me over there, all these things are like kits, hardware, sensors, and all that. Because for me, after I've watched the video, I want to hands-on, to get it. But like I said, that's why today there are things like Wokwi and stuff that you can use to learn practically. But yes, I use a combination of the resources from the manufacturers, videos, documentation. I combine a lot of that. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fighting right now. Oh yes, yeah. I mean that's the spirit of a maker. Sometimes you hit your head, and then finally you get to you get it, and then that becomes experience. I've also been through that before. There are times that I get some hardware, and I just sit there, rack my brain. I don't sleep trying to figure it out, and but then at long last you figure it out, and then you have like a very good experience with it. So yeah, it's just the lifestyle of someone who likes to build stuff. More resource for you there. Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing that. I really appreciate that. So you can use YouTube is there. Reddit also, Reddit can be very, very hard, but But yes, you can literally do that. Yeah. Oh, Tiwa, thank you so much. So Tiwa, thank you for joining. Yeah, um, Tiwa joined our IoT certification program, the free one. So I'm sure she can share a lot on that for you guys. What did I miss? Yes, there's one more thing. There's one more thing before we call it a day on the show. More things to unbox. So I was doing some research, still on our air quality sensors and environmental monitoring sensors that we're building. And I mean, I heard of Blues and all that. Oh, that's also a good thing to say. So we are an official Blues partner in Ghana. So if you're doing any implementation and you need communication and stuff like that, and one of the biggest challenge when you are building solutions, especially remote solutions like in agri-tech and other places where you want to be able to send data, is connectivity. So most times you are faced with the challenge of either using, I mean, Wi-Fi is not long range, so you can't do that. So most times you are forced to use either narrow band, IoT, there's Sigfox, now there's LoRa, but the common one is to use an LTE or cellular network, right? So most times you have a SIM card, you put it in a thing, and then, however, there are some services like Blues, right? This is not a paid promotion. Like all these things I bought myself, so it's not a paid promotion, but I've used it and I can tell you it works great. So Blues has what they call the Blue Note cards and carriers, right? So let me show you how they look like. So this is the Blues Note card carrier. So this is a carrier, right? So, and what are the carriers? So these are the carriers. So these are designed. So this one is, I believe this one is the cellular. So this is the cellular and LoRa. Sorry, cellular and Wi-Fi note card. So this means that if I'm doing a project and I want connectivity, right? So with a note carrier, all I need to do is put this in here, this way. And you can see all the pin extensions. So now, automatically, if I can now transmit data using cellular. Now, Blues has got its own global partners of connectivity. This one that I got comes with, I think, is it a 500 megabytes of data and stuff. So I don't need to worry about what network provider works in this area or doesn't work in this area. They have a large number of global connectors. So with this, I can, and you can see they have the host here. They have the host here as well, so which is like your microcontroller board that you can use to program that. So these are, so if you were not seeing me and I was hiding, these were some of the things that I was in the background just checking. Now aside that, there's also an interesting trend that has been going on for some time now, especially devices that communicate or that transfer data using LoRa, right? They are low powered and they can stay on some batteries for like almost 5-6 years. And there's the concept of now using supercapacitors in combination with these long life batteries that you can put on sensors and systems that last for a long time. So I was trying the high cap or supercapacitor from Blues as well to add to this setup to test a few things up. So as you can see in the upcoming days, once we're strong, we are in good health, there's a lot to look out for. Our current the current episode we are doing is on thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. I will try as much as possible to get this content going. And like I said, if you have any questions, if you have any challenges or ideas of things we should try out, there are a lot of sensors here that I've not even tried yet. So just hit at me at any of my social media handles. I'll be more than willing to jump on some short call with you or just think and keep following me as well, because our free boot camps, our volunteer programs where we take technology to people in deprived areas, Tech on Wheels is in full force. And yeah, this is where you can get, you can see me try, fail, break things, and do stuff. Um, our our session still continues on using real time. What we are doing, the series we are doing is we are doing real time data sensing, sending real time data from the MX chip to your cloud using the Microsoft Fabric. That's what the series we are doing now. But from time to time, once that is done, as you can see, all these things we've unboxed, we need to use them and see them in project. So keep following us keenly, and then we'll do that. One of our sensors at the station are running on long life. Yes. So earlier when I mentioned that, so we have developed low-cost environmental monitoring sensors. We have something called CrowdSense ENV, which monitors environmental parameters from, so we're doing temperature, humidity, pressure, altitude, noise, light intensity, UV. I'm missing one. PM1, PM2.5, PM10, all in one sensor. We're running that is solar powered. And then we have the CrowdSense gas, which is monitoring gaseous, the Vox, NOx, LPG and all that. And some of these are running on the long life batteries, and our partners from Voltaic, our solar providers, and then they are running on a long. So as of today, Ciao, David. Thank you. Ciao, David. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for gracing us. I'll catch up with you after the show later on. Arnold, can you drop me the link to the dashboard so that I can share that before we sign off? Yeah, so one of our sensors is actually running on the long life batteries. And one thing we realized that you can look at the value. It looks like it's going down, going down, and then it's so that's something to look. It's a trend to look out for. If you're an IoT and you're serious, the trends to look out for is look at LoRaWAN, look at this long life batteries and capacitors and stuff like that. Look out for these things. They really help you a lot. I think that's all time will permit us to do today. Like I said, kindly, if this is the first time, and this is IoT Tuesday with yours truly, Samuel Adrani, I would really be grateful if you can like, share, subscribe to the channel, invite your friends and families and who are interested in technology to join the channel as well, so that together we can learn and do a lot of things. And if you have anything here, feel free to reach me at any of my social media handles, and we can have fun, we can think how we can build things together and have fun. So if this sounds like something you want to do, oh wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. It's been a long time. Thank you, I appreciate it. Years of investment are paying. So if this sounds like something you want to do with me every week, just make a date with me. On Fridays, I do Demystify Tech, where I also share my knowledge and enthusiasm in technology, general technology. But now we are more on AI, trying to build AI agents using Microsoft AI, Llama, Meta Llama. We're trying to use all that to build our AI agent. And if you are a Power Platform and a Microsoft freak, on Sundays I do stuff on the Power Platform as well. I try to link the solutions to understand that it's a fusion thing we do. So thank you very much. We are top of the hour. Actually, we are 5 minutes into the hour. I really appreciate your time. Let's do this again next week. Bring your questions, bring your solutions, bring your challenges, and let's have fun. Till then, stay safe. The year is almost getting to an end. All sort of crazy things happen. So stay safe, be good, and I'll see you again next week. Good night.